Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of C programming tutorial. In today's episode we are going to learn about how to pass values between two functions in C programming. So in the previous part we already learned about how to working with functions in C programming. So by using functions, a large complex program into made an easier one by dividing that large program into individual modules by using functions. So one of the main advantages of writing a program into function is the reusability of that particular function. So if you want to reuse a particular function, then you have to make sure that you have to ensure an effective communication between that functions. So that means you have to pass some information to that function, and you have to get some data back from that function. So here in this episode we are going to learn about how to communicate to a function by passing some data or passing some values to that function. So for passing some data or passing some value to a function, we using some type of variables called arguments or parameters. Arguments or parameters are the variables used to communicate between two functions. Okay, so here I'm going to demonstrate how this work using an example. So you can get the syntax, and you can get the syntax and complete information from this example. It is very easy to learn the function by using a complete working example. So here I'm going to create a function. Here this function does not return anything to the calling function. So here the return type is void, and I name the function as display info. This is just a simple function called display info, and here you can see that at the bracket of the function there is no arguments or no variables are visible. That means now this function, it is not possible to pass any value to this function. You can call this function and you can run the statement inside this function, but now it is not possible to pass any value to this function because there is no variable, or there is no way to pass anything to this function because there is no arguments or parameters are present on this function. So now I'm going to pass a value to this function. For that, here on the main method I'm going to create a variable char name of size 50. So character array of size 50, and I assign a value to this character array. This is my name. Okay, just put a character, just put a string on this character array previous. Okay, now I want to display the name from this function. Okay, so for that I have to pass this value or this variable to this function. So in that case we use that special type of variables called arguments or parameters. That means this function have to receive this data, this value from the main function. For that you have to specify some variable within this function bracket. So here the data that I am going to pass is a character array of size 50. So here I have to specify some variable that is a character array of size having size 50. So here I declare another variable is a character array of size 50. Okay, so now this function is able to receive a string that contain 0 to 50 characters. That means that string contains 51 characters. That means now this function is able to receive a string that contain maximum of 51 characters. So here I am going to call that function display display info. Just name that function and put the function bracket. So I have to pass the value to that function, so I have to put the variable name inside this bracket. So here the variable name is name, that is a character array that contain that string called Prabish. Okay, so now it is okay. So I call that function and I pass that value of the variable name to that function. So whenever the compiler invoke this function, it will receive a string from the main method on this variable called yes. That means it's a string array. So here I can use that string. So here I'm going to print that string here. Printf name is percentage yes is a character array, so use the control word percentage yes, and I have to specify that variable name. Here the variable name is yes. Okay. Okay, so I call that function with an argument. These variables are called. Here I pass the value of the variable name. So this is a parameter or argument, and the variable s received that value from the calling function, calling function. So these two are arguments here. This is the argument, this is the variable that passed the value, and this is the variable that received the value for that function. Okay, now we have to compile it. Compile the program. No errors are available, so now we can run it. Execute, run. Okay, we got the output name Prabish. Here in this function I just pass only one value. So here I pass a string array. That's why I using only one variable here. So if you want to pass more than one variable or more than one value to a function, you have to specify that number of variables in that function. So suppose here I have to pass another variable age. Is an integer variable, age equal to 26. Okay, so here I have to display the age. I have to display the age inside the display function, display info function. So I already pass one value to that function. It's a string array. Now I want to pass this variable age to that function, so I have to pass that value here. So I put a comma operator and specify that variable. Age is an integer variable, is an integer value. So in order to receive that value, here on the function declaration also you have to specify a variable of the same type. So here I use a variable of same type. Is also an integer. Also you can notice that here the variable name is age, and here on the function declaration also I use the same variable name, but it is correct because these two variables are different. That means a variable inside a function is local to that function. That means this variable int age is available only on the main function, and this argument age is available only on display info function. That means you can use the same argument name, or you can use the same variable name in function calling and function declaration. It is also possible. Okay, so now I'm going to print the variable age. Put a new line using /n. Age is integer, so using %d and specify that variable name age. Okay, now I save the program. Now compile it and run it. We got the correct output, name and age. Okay, and the order of the arguments are also important. That means here first I put the string, second I put the integer. That is very important. So it is not possible to put the integer first at function declaration. That makes some compiler error. That means the type and order of the arguments are same in function calling and function declaration. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please try a lot of examples by yourself. Thank you for watching. See you in the next part.